I've made kid movies into horror before, but what if we made horror movie posters family friendly instead? Our first poster is Brightburn. It's a horror movie that experiments with the idea of an evil Superman. So let's import the kid and cut him out. As much as I looked for one, I couldn't find a full body image, so we're gonna have to build it piece by piece. I'm gonna cut out the shirt from this photo and warp it to match the angle better. Then I'll sew this guy's arm and the left one too. I just realized we can't see the t-shirt near his neck, so I got it from the original photo. It looks like his arm is coming out of nowhere. So I'll duplicate the shirt sleeve and warp it in place. Adding some shadows will really sell the effect. Now you might notice there is a hole in the shirt, so let's fix that.
Nice job, team!
We can add some pants, make them gray, and paint in some shadows to make it look more real. Then we can realize the color of the sleeve makes no sense because the t-shirt is supposed to be white. So I'll fix it, and while I'm at it, I'll just color match everything. So there's this really cool poster for James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie, and I want to do something similar. My first thought was painting random colors, adding grain, and directional blur. It kinda works, but I think we can do way better. So this time I'm layering a lot of different shades before adding the grain and the blur. I also added some of it in front of the kid so that he blends into the scene way better. Speaking of which, I gave him a lot of adjustment layers so that he matches the color of the background. Now I'll just make some adjustment to the lighting, add some bloom and some lines on top of the kid. And this looks pretty nice. Let's grab a font and write Brightburn. I chose something that looked handwritten because the main character draws a lot in his notebook in the movie. I'll also add the cheesy tagline, "Not everyone is born a hero," because they always do that for some reason, and a camera roll filter. There it is. That would be a really cool poster for a coming-of-age superhero story instead of a horror movie. Final Destinations are some of the most iconic horror movies ever, and the most traumatizing for a lot of people was the second one. So let's make it into an adventure film. First I imported a road at sunset and extended it. Then I got a truck and I had to warp its perspective to try and match the road. You might have noticed that it's not the same truck as in the movie, because instead of being fatal, this one could be a close call like you often see in the adventure genre. Anyways, I added a shadow that really made it blend into the scene. I'm gonna make a classic floating head poster, so I got scenes of the movie to cut out every characters. Starting with her, then this guy, that girl, who I had to extend a little bit, and these last two. It's a movie from 2003, so the quality of these photos was pretty bad. I'll add a cheesy tagline and the title. Now, since all the characters are from different scenes, we're gonna have to match their exposure. To blend this guy into the sky, I'm going to sample colors from it and paint on top of the characters at the back. And just like that, we only need a camera filter. Possibly one of the scariest recent horror movies, It. For this one, I want to go for a comedy movie poster. And that's why we're gonna start with a white background and a blue sky. Then I'll cut out Pennywise. He's a scary guy. I don't like the angle of his head, so I'll cut another one out from a figurine. I just need to fill this out, color match both parts, and we have a pretty good base for a clown. Except he still looks scary, so I'm gonna get rid of his face.
What the heck?
Well, I guess I'll do it manually. Remember kids, AI won't replace artists. I have to switch out some of his facial features, but I want to keep his makeup. I cut out the mouth and eyes of this happy looking guy, and blended them in with Pennywise's face using tint and saturation. Now we can bring back the makeup around his eyes and nose, and we can even add some lipstick. We successfully made Pennywise look stupid and friendly. Now for the other very important part of this poster, the balloons. I cut out this bunch with auto selection and made it red. Then I had to go and get rid of the lighter balloons because they weren't really the red color I was looking for. I wanted to cut out balloons from another photo to put them in the foreground, but I realized they weren't the same material nor did they have the same lighting, so I ended up just duplicating the balloons from the first bunch over and over again. I think the sky isn't really fitting anymore, so I got rid of it. I just added the title and a tagline reading, "This summer, we're all floating together." A nice camera filter and a lot of green later. Here it is. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to see me turn kid movie posters into horror in this one.